excited are you to get started? I know you guys have been in here a lot, but how excited are you to get
Oh,
this
good.
rolling?
It's a fun time of year. So now I think we guys are anxious to get started, and I feel like we've had a good September. And so, no, it'll be good to get on the floor tomorrow.
You guys have talked about wanting more, expecting more, raised expectations. Is that kind of a mindset that you have for them?
Well, if we want to do that, the best mindset that we have to have is to have a good training camp, because that's where it'll start. You know, a big part of the growth that we made last year and the fact that we took a step was because we did it day by day. And I think guys understood that, you know, the key to this league is to, you know, start here and get to here, and that's what we did. If you look at our play at the beginning of the year compared to, say, the last 34 games, you know, our guys made great improvement, and that starts with having the right attitude about work, about trying to be cohesive on the floor together. So, you know, people can talk about goals and all that. That's not for a coach, and that's not what wins in this league. Is what we need to do is starting tomorrow, we need to have a good October. That's what we need to do.
You typically prefer a 9-man rotation. Given that the team is deeper than it was last year, do you consider expanding it to 10?
I mean, you can. The hard thing is, and I would challenge you to do this, is sit down and do a 10-man rotation and see what you can get for numbers, and do a 9-man rotation. Coach Adebayo will tell you that playing well for a player starts with having enough minutes to play well. And when you play 10 guys, it's very difficult to get or I would say more than 6 of them enough minutes where they can play well. So I'm not saying there won't be nights when you play 10, but it's much more difficult for guys to play well in, say, 15 minutes as compared to 22. You play 9, you're going to be able to get probably 8 guys really good minutes. You play 10, it gets much more difficult.
What does having those options, with guys that have played meaningful minutes for playoff teams, what does having all those options do for you as a coach in preparing and getting them ready for games?
It's the same thing it does every year. I mean, it gives you, you figure out which guys can play best together. And then you watch in training camp to see if there's a dynamic between 2 or 3 guys that you didn't know about, and then you do the playing groups that way.
If you guys had to start pretty much from scratch last year, how much of an advantage is it to have the guys back, have you back, familiarity there?
Oh, I mean, I think it can be beneficial if we have the right attitude. I mean, again, I'm going to keep going back to, as I studied the team this summer, and I look back at my notes of last year's post-practice, post-game, the one common theme I wrote constantly was, we have a team that wants to win. And, professional athletes are just like you and I. They're not machines. The better players get themselves in the right place every year. We had a bunch of guys last year, if you look at it, who had career years, and we're going to need a similar mindset this year. If we do that, the continuity will be good, and if not so much.
You had a lot of guys playing the World Cup this summer. How does that factor into the regular season?
I think it's a huge advantage, frankly. I mean, I remember being with the Knicks when Allen Houston played in the Olympics in Sydney. I think they came back and had 5 days before we started training camp, and he had a phenomenal year. I was sitting with Tom Thibodeau in Vegas watching J.I., and I told him we have 4 guys in the World Cup. He said, it's the best thing. Derrick Rose's best year, his MVP year, Tom thinks was in good part due to the fact that he played Basketball USA. I think they're in great shape. They're more in rhythm. And listen, this league now, what we've done, this isn't 5 years ago. We're playing 11 back-to-backs. We have a shorter training camp. We don't do double sessions anymore. We have more days off. This league is set up. The wear and tear on their bodies is not what it was even 5 years ago. Let me put it this way. My first 2 years in Charlotte, we played 23 and 22 sets of back-to-backs. So I think the league's been smart by cutting down training camp We've made it much easier on the players. So I think that playing for their teams in this tournament is good. And the wear and tear, bottom line, the wear and tear on our players' bodies, because the league's been prudent and smart about responding to load management, these guys should be able to play.
As well as T. Ross played last year, in what ways will you seek improvement from him?
Well, I think the biggest thing with him, and he's in a great place, he's had a really good offseason, is not so much adding, but it's going to be responding to how he's defended. He and Vooch, if you watch the film, they're the two guys that got extra attention, not just in the playoffs, but particularly the last 30 games. And we're going to have counters ready. Both of those guys got a lot of extra, like I said, attention. Fake help, double teams, things like that. I think they both have the mindset where they're willing to make the right play and play out of it. But it's what this league is all about. When you have somebody who can draw the second defender, you're 4-on-3. They got to make the right play. You got to make the defense pay.
How do you approach things with Markelle? Does he go into the season as the backup at point guard?
Oh, we'll see. I mean, again, it's Markelle needs to do, in my opinion, what Markelle's done since he got here. Have good days. Have a good day tomorrow. That's what the best players do. That's what the best teams do. Is have good days. Put good stretches of days together. Be better Friday than he is Tuesday. And I think that, again, in my experiences, those are what the best players do. That's what the best teams do.
How important was it for the team, the playoff experience, not only to be in the post, but to know what it takes to get there, as far as the mindset to get back?
No question. I think that there's two parts of it that I'm going to talk to them about tonight before we start. Is you have to know where you're at, okay? And the reality for me is this. You watch the films, okay? These guys did a great job last year. They played their way in. We were 20 and 31. We didn't back in. We had great stretches, great wins on the road, terrific wins here at home, and we did it by playing well. We were balanced the last 34 games. First in defense, 15th in offense. If you do that for a whole year, you're going to be a very good team. So that part, we have to learn what we did well there. And then the playoff part, because that's what the NBA is all about, is winning in the playoffs, particularly offensively, we came up short. And so we have to be able to learn from the things we did well to get there, which made us more relevant, but also understand that if we want to do something of exceptionality, if we play well enough to get back, we have to be at a higher level.
Coach Clifford, last year you managed to the playoffs, so this year are you going to set a higher standard for the players and the team? What's going to be part of your motivation?
Yeah, I don't ever set limits on the group. I told them the same thing last year. There are so many aspects when you play so many games and ups and downs of the season. I will tell them this. I feel great about our team. I feel great about the attitude they had this summer, about the work they put in, and what we can become. But I do know this. We should be thinking about having a great October. There are a few teams. When I was here with Stan and we had the two great teams, I remember sitting here and he would tell them, we need to be home court, we need to be top four. We're not at that level yet. What we need to do is develop a way to play so that we can play our way into the playoffs. To me, it's like this. The off-season is to get ready for September. September is to get ready for training camps. Training camps to get ready for the regular season. Regular season is to get ready for the playoffs, qualify. Right now, we need to be locked into this month. And if we do that, and we have the right attitude about it, we'll give ourselves the best chance to get back to the playoffs and hopefully be playing at a higher level.
Coach Clifford, with the new additions that you have on the team and with the regular core coming back, do you expect the points per game to increase?
Well, I know this. We played better. It's still only 48 minutes and there was only one ball, but we played better for sure when we played quicker. Not breakneck, not fast break points, but when our pace of play was better last year, we played better. It was actually one of the things that MCW did for us. When he was on the floor, those final games that he played when he brought in, we were like third or fourth in pace. And normally in our league, points per game is not nearly the indicator of good, even offensive play or winning, that pace is. So it's not necessarily, to me, how quickly we get up and down the floor or how many shots we take, but it is the pace at which we get it up the floor and the ball's moving and the defense is forced to, defend us quicker.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.